Hey guys, Lucas Sacco here. Today we're looking at one of the newer decks that started to arise in the format, especially like last format. I'm sure this video will come out after the ban list. I guess I can hope at least. But from all the testing that I've done with this deck and what I've seen other people perform with the deck and other people testing with it, I think this deck is very solid coming up into the next format's metagame. And the deck I'm actually talking about today is Memento. We did some discussing with Clifton Land, who is a great duelist who actually got top 16 at the Sacramento YCS just like a week ago or so. I had some talking with him and found some of his combos, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys those right now. Alright, jumping right into the video, this is our one card combo with Anguish. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. We're just going to start off with normal summoning the Anguish and use Anguish's effect to add the Seahorse to hand. I don't know all these cards' names and how to pronounce them. I know what they do, so just bear with me as we go through all this. So Anguish is going to add the Seahorse, and then we're going to special summon the Seahorse. The Seahorse effect is going to destroy itself and send any number of Memento monsters from your deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal the monster destroyed. So here we can send guys whose total level equal up to 5. So we're going to send the Gaddock, the Mace, and the Goblin to resolve the effect. Now we're going to use Gaddock's effect to special summon itself out. And since Gaddock is now special summoned, we're going to use the effect and add Goblin to hand. Anguish has another effect here that lets us target a Memento monster in our graveyard, destroy a Memento monster we control, and if we do special summon the target. So we're going to use Anguish to special summon Mace and destroy our Gaddock. Mace effect will then destroy itself to add Memento Fusion, one of the most insane fusion spells I have ever read. So we're just going to go ahead and activate that. This card lets us fusion summon using monsters from our hand or field as materials, including any Memento monster. Then it says, if a monster in your possession was destroyed by card effect this turn, you can also shuffle from the graveyard as material instead. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to shuffle back the Mace and the Seahorse to summon out Twin Dragon. This card is one of the most insane fusion monsters actually printed in like the last 5 years. It has a random effect that says if your Memento monster's battled, it banishes the destroyed monster. And then it says if this card is fusion summoned, destroy Memento, add 2 cards from your deck to your hand. Then it says if it's destroyed, actually special summons a guy from graveyard. So we're going to use this effect, destroy itself, add a combined creation and a Sleepy from deck to hand. Then because it was destroyed, we're going to use this effect to special summon back the Gaddock. Now we're just going to link 2 into Cross Sheep with our 2 monsters and use Sleepy's effect. Sleepy says if a monster this turn was destroyed by card effect, you can actually just go ahead and special summon itself from your hand. So we're going to do that. Now we can use Sleepy's effect to fusion summon because it was no more special. And we're going to fusion summon with all 3 of the Memento monsters that we have access to right now to summon the Creation King. This chain link is a little bit weird. We're going to go chain link 1 Cross Sheep and chain link 2 Creation King. This is the only combo in the deck where you really do it in that order. Most of the time, you're actually going to do it in the reverse order to like play around things like Ash Blossom on your Creation King. So we're going to go ahead and dump another copy of Creation King, the Cranium Blast, and Darkblade here. And then we're going to resolve our Cross Sheep effect, which is going to special summon out the Darkblade that we send from the Creation King. It's a little bit of a cool interaction there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Graveyard effect of Creation King to banish itself and add the Field Spell. We're going to activate the Field Spell and then use Darkblade's effect to destroy itself to special summon from the deck. So that's going to give us access to Mace. Now we're going to use the Field Spell because a monster that we control was destroyed by battle or card effect, which is going to let us summon out another Memento monster from our graveyard. We're going to link 2 into Moon and then link 1 into Requiem and activate Requiem's effect to tribute itself and special summon the Engraver. Now we're going to link the Engraver and Creation King into sequence, use the sequence effect to fusion summon. We're going to put back Moon, Requiem, and the Engraver here. It's going to put a Desiree on our field. This is really good for playing around things like board breakers into this deck, because that's the one thing that this deck does not really struggle with, but they're definitely better into this deck than they are into most decks. So now we're going to link the sequence of the Crush Sheep into Appaloosa. If this card does get banned in the ban list, Appaloosa can basically be anything here, but I'm going to go ahead and do these combos pre-ban list just because I don't really know what's going on. I'm recording this on the Friday before. I'm assuming the ban list comes out Monday, but I'm still going to post this video. We're going to use sequence effect to equip onto the Desiree. Now we're going to shuffle back 5 Memento monsters to now summon out the combined creation, and we're going to use the end phase effect of the field spell to now set Cranium Burst. So this is your disruptions. You have an Appaloosa for 2, combined creation with 5,000 attack, so Cranium can effectively negate 5 cards. Then you have your Desiree, which is going to negate 2 cards in the field. Combined Creation is not just a big old guy with 5k attack that you can reduce. It also has another effect that says once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a Memento monster from your hand or graveyard. So if your opponent does activate a card or effect, which I'm sure they're going to do at some point during the turn, you can trigger your Combined Creation to special summon the Anguish from the graveyard, and then use Anguish on summon to add Mace. Mace is randomly like a really good in-archetype hand trap that just says during your opponent's main phase, if you control Combined Creation, you can discard this card, Target one face a monster opponent controls and take control of it until the end phase. So if you see your opponent start to climb up and like make a cards that are going to threaten your field, whether it's like they make Engraver, they equip something to it, something like that, you can always just activate Mace and take control of their monster. So really cool interaction there about how to squeeze out some extra disruptions. But this field right here off of one card is effectively like 9 disruptions on its own. Really good off of one card. I'm going to show you guys the next one card combo now, which is just Darkblade. Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to the new sponsor, Dueling Guard. They have great mats, deck boxes, sleeves, everything you can think of for TCG apparel. Check them out in the description box down below and use code SAKO for 5% off. So with just Darkblade, we're going to start off with normal summoning Darkblade and activating the effect to destroy itself and special summon out Anguish. We're going to follow the line that we did with just Anguish for most of the combo, and then we're going to deviate just a little bit farther down the line because we don't have the effect of Darkblade to summon from deck still. We're going to go Anguish, get the Seahorse summon itself, and then Seahorse is going to use its effect to dump Goblin, Gaddock, and Mace again. We're going to use Gaddock to special summon out, and then Gaddock will use its effect to then add the Goblin to hand. We're going to use Anguish to destroy Gaddock and special summon Mace, and Mace to destroy itself and add Memento Infusion. Now we're going to activate Memento Infusion to shuffle back the Seahorse and Mace, summon Twin Dragon, and now we're going to use Twin Dragon's effect to destroy itself to add Sleepy, as well as combine Creation to hand. The Twin's going to use its effect to special summon back Darkblade because it was destroyed. Now we can link 2 into Cross Sheep and activate Sleepy's effect to special summon. On summon, we're going to use Sleepy's effect to fusion. We're going to fusion with all of the mementos that we have access to at this point, Goblin, Combined Creation, and itself, to make Creation King. Here's what I was talking about. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Creation King, Chainlink 2 Cross Sheep. Since we don't have to send a guy from deck to graveyard and summon it back to the same Chainlink, we have the ability to chain block our Creation King. So we're going to use Cross Sheep to now summon back Sleepy, and the Creation King to dump another copy of Creation King, the Seahorse, and Cranium Burst. We're going to use Creation King to banish itself at the field spell. We're going to activate the field spell, and then we're going to use the graveyard effect of Memento Infusion. This is an effect that we didn't have to use in the last combo, but this card has another effect that says, during your main phase, banish this card, destroy one monster you control, and if you do, add one Memento, spell or trap from your hand. Really cool. This card can actually add another copy of itself, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to destroy Sleepy to add Memento Fusion, and then we're going to go Chainlink 1 field spell, Chainlink 2 Sleepy. Sleepy's then going to send Bone Party from deck to graveyard. This is a card in your deck that's mostly used like an emergency. It's there to dodge hand traps, as well as be a starter a lot of the time. But this card has a graveyard effect that says, during your main phase, banish this card, target a memento. It can do piercing damage this turn. So we're going to go ahead and send that for later, just because we have the ability to send a card. The Memento Fusion is actually going to, or the Memento Field Spell is now going to special summon back Goblin, and we're going to link away the Goblin, the Cross Sheep, and the Creation King into Appaloosa. If things do change and Appaloosa gets banned, there's a different route that you can go through, which actually ends with a Caesar and an SP instead, which is pretty good if they do end up hitting those cards. But we're going to make the Appaloosa for 2400 right now. Now we're going to shuffle back 5 Memento monsters to summon out the Combined Creation. And then we can set our Memento Fusion spell and go to the end phase, where we're then going to activate the field spell to set Cranium Burst. We have that same disruption set up with the Creation King to now summon out Anguish and get our Snatch Steal hand trap or Mace in hand. Then we have an Appaloosa for 3 and the Cranium Burst to take other guys. We also have the Memento Infusion. This card isn't really going to come up to like disrupt your opponent. This is more of like a follow-up card from what I'm understanding about this deck, but it gives you still a lot of resources to play with. For the last combo, I'm going to show you guys how you can now combo if you open only the Fiendsmith or Engraver, and how you're able to access all of the engine parts of this deck. Alright, so with just Engraver, we're going to start with activating the effect of Engraver, discarding itself to add Tractus, activate Tractus adding Lurry, discarding the Lurry, and we're going to use Lurry's effect to special summon. We're going to link 1 into Requiem and use its effect to special summon Engraver. Now we're going to use the Engraver effect, shuffling back the Requiem. It's pretty important here that you do shuffle back the Requiem. You could choose to shuffle back Lurry, but I think it's better to shuffle back Requiem now to protect yourself from like multiple issues. So we're going to special summon back the Engraver. Now we're going to use Tract Effect to Fusion. This is where the Fiendsmith stuff starts to deviate in this combo, as opposed to like a lot of the other combos that you see with this, where they save Tract usually at the end of their turn to either make Desiree or not use it well. We're going to use Tract to now fusion summon with 2 copies of Engraver to make a Lacrima, and then use Lacrima to special summon back Engraver. We're going to link both of those monsters now into Sequence, and use Sequence effect to put back Lurry and the Lacrima to make Aerial Eater, and then we're going to use Aerial Eater's effect to dump Goblin. Now that we're here, we're actually going to make Cross Sheep, and that's how we're going to access the engine that we just sent off of the Aerial Eater. So we're going to go Cross Sheep, we're going to use Aerial Eater's effect, banishing both of the Engravers from our graveyard to special summon itself. I really like how this combo is done here because it leaves access to the Fiendsmith engine still in your deck. You have one engraver still in your deck with the entire Fiendsmith package still in your extra deck minus sequence. You can get access to that again with no problem and still finish like comboing next turn if you need to access the Fiendsmith. So now that we have summoned a fusion monster, we're going to use Cross Sheep to special summon the Goblin from graveyard. And now we're going to use Goblin's effect to destroy itself to send 2 Memento monsters from deck to graveyard with different names. We're going to send the Gaddock and Mace, and because Gaddock was sent to the graveyard by the effect of the Memento, it's going to special summon itself. Now we're going to use Gaddock effect to add Mace. Safest thing to do here is to make Appaloosa now. I don't know what's going to happen on the ban list. If the card is still legal, then you probably do the same thing. If not, there's some different route that you can take, and I'm sure still plays around to be very well. But in this combo, I am going to show us just making Appaloosa here. Now we're going to normal summon Mace, use Mace effect to destroy itself to add Memento Fusion. Now we can use Memento Fusion to put back the Mace and the Goblin, which is going to summon Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon's effect is now going to activate to destroy itself and add Sleepy as well as the Combined Creation from your deck to your hand. We're going to activate the effect of Twin Dragon to special summon back the Gaddock, and now Sleepy's effect to special summon. Because Sleepy was now no longer special summoned, we're going to use the effect of Fusion Summon, Fusion itself, the Gaddock, and the Combined Creation to get us into Creation King. We're going to activate the effect of Creation King to send a copy of itself, the Seahorse, and the Trap card. I actually put the Seahorse in my hand. We're going to send these 3 here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to activate the effect of Creation King, giving us access to our field spell. Then we're going to activate it, of course. So from here, you may be wondering how we're going to extend further to end with like a little bit more on our field. The way we're going to do that is we're going to use the graveyard effect of Memento Infusion again. So we're going to banish it to then destroy our Creation King, and then another copy of Memento Infusion. That's going to trigger the field spell to actually special summon back out the Seahorse, and we haven't used the Seahorse effect yet. So now we're going to use the Seahorse effect to destroy itself to send Goblin, Mace, and Anguish here. It's going to get us access to the Anguish for our opponent's turn. Then we're going to special summon back the Combined Creation by shuffling back 5 Memento monsters into our deck or extra deck from the graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Summon up the Combined Creation. We're going to set our Memento Infusion now. Go to the end phase where our field spell is then going to set the Cranium Burst. So here we still have an Appaloosa for 3. We have our Cranium Burst, which is effectively 5 disruptions. It's going to be a little bit iffy if all 5 of those go through, but it's pretty hard to interact with the card, to be honest. So the card is going to get a lot of those disruptions, at least most of the time. Then we have our Creation King, which is going to summon back Anguish. Anguish is going to add Mace, and then we're having the ability to steal one of our opponent's monsters. So this deck is absolutely insane. I wanted to give a big shout out to Clifton Land for showing me all the combos that he did this weekend to top YCS Sacramento. If you guys want to give a congrats to him down below in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. That's going to be it for the video today. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you could, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic day.